My name is Jessica Walsh, and I am a designer and art director living and working in New York City. So I actually do quite a wide range of work, from larger advertising campaigns to smaller projects such as illustration, typographic installations, websites, branding, subway posters. I also always have a few personal projects going on at any moment, like the 40 Days of Dating project. So I was born right outside of the city here in New York, in a little town called Treetops. My parents were entrepreneurs, so growing up, the environment was very business focused and always go, go, go. And I always was more of the artsy child in the family, which they didn't understand. But my mom did definitely support that. Throughout my college experience, I always knew New York was really the place my heart was set on. So the day of graduation, I packed up and moved straight here. Me and an ex-boyfriend at the time found an apartment that we could barely split the rent together, and just packed up a U-Haul and moved here and hoped that it would work out. And luckily, it did. Stefan Sagmeister was always one of the only people that I felt like that I would want to work for in New York. I absolutely loved his work, and I didn't think he hired. So I really just reached out to him more for advice on my own work and my portfolio. Didn't think I'd ever get an email back from him, and we met, and he looked through my book, and like 5 minutes into it said, "When could you try out working with me?" We just basically started into a series of conversations together about how we can make it work between us, and decided that this business partnership and renaming the studio to Sagmeister Walsh was a way that we could both be happy working together for many years to come. So I think surrealism has always had a major influence on me. I love the work of Magritte, Dali, Max Ernst, Maurizio Cattelan. So I think you see a lot of that pop up. I also have a lot of crazy, weird visual dreams. So I think that's also something that has really influenced me. Sometimes when work is really intense and stressful, I'll sometimes get chase dreams, which is just like the classic anxiety dream. But I grew up with terrible nightmares, and on and off we'll get them coming back. At the moment, I don't have any nightmares, but we still put all these pressures on ourselves, right? There's so much great work I want to do, so many great opportunities, and that can sometimes be a little stress-provoking.
Are there other considerations we're making as well?
I am learning a ton, and I'm very challenged by the client work, but I also do find it important to have these side projects where it isn't for a client, and I can be completely open creatively. So one of my very close friends, Timothy Goodman, who is also a designer and art director here in New York City, we realized that we both have problems in romantic relationships, opposite problems. He has trouble committing to a girl, and I am kind of the hopeless romantic. So we started talking about it and formulated this project called 40 Days of Dating, where we would date each other for 40 days in a way or in an attempt to overcome our relationship problems. So we did end up dating by day 20 of the project, and thought that we would continue to date afterwards, but on day 39 we broke up in Disney World, and decided to end the project as just friends. told him I understood. I told him that even though I cared for him deeply, he deserves to be with someone he is crazy for, and I deserve to be with someone who's crazy about me. However, I can't deny feeling rejection and feeling pain. I already loved him as a friend, and after I allowed myself to open up to him and let my guard down, I can't deny that I started to fall for him romantically. It seems I've repeated the same pattern again. I've opened up too quickly, empathized too deeply, and I have another failed relationship to add to the list. I can't read the rest of it. I think we both learned an incredible amount about not only each other, but ourselves, and things that we wanted to improve on moving forward. It was actually a crazy experience. So all of this stress kind of combined to basically a breaking point for me, where I realized that I needed to completely change my life around. So I started eating better and exercising. So it's interesting that the project started out attempting to solve relationship issues, but actually really was huge for me just on a personal level. So after the dating project ended, I met up with some friends when I was in LA, and my friend said to me, make a list of everything that you want in a guy. So I did that, and 2 weeks later, I met this guy that is basically everything on that list. He's pretty amazing. So even though it's very new, I am quite excited about him. I don't know if I can officially call it love yet because it's so new, but you know, there's some portion of that definitely in there. So I'm excited to see where it goes.